Hi everybody, we are back with another video.
What's up, what's up?
So it's me, Brittany, and my lovely husband,
Terrence, once again.
So first and foremost, we want to thank everybody who subscribed, who liked, who commented, who shared. Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys.
All the positive feedback we received as well.
Like we so appreciate you guys. Like I never thought we would get as much feedback as we did. So hopefully we just go up from here.
And I continue to pray for a lot of marriages out there, for the younger marriages, older marriages that may be going through some of the things we have talked about or that we will soon be talking about. Because it's things we struggle with. And I just want to be able to bless other people's marriages because I know the things we've been through. We've been through so much. So that's why today's topic is something that I kind of feel like need to be talked about because we was this close, which is divorce is not an option. Which it was something we also discussed in the beginning of everyone thinking about getting married. It was like, oh, hey, we get married. That was the only time. It was no more after that. But along the way, I wasn't doing my part with standing up to my vows, which I should have been. But I was too much into the world instead of my word. And should have been trusting God the whole time. But I wasn't. So, like I said, divorce is not an option. Sometimes we use that word when we get angry at one another. So I think all you married folk, including us, we gotta get rid of the divorce word. Just gotta get rid of it.
Yeah.
Try to get rid of it from your memory bank, your vocabulary.
Take it completely off the table. It cannot be a table. It cannot be something that you use against your spouse. Just like pretend that word doesn't even exist. I think when you do that, it forces you to have conversation. It forces you to work out your problems. Because, you know, at the end of the day, if divorce isn't an option, you two still got to go to sleep together. You still have to be together for the rest of your lives.
And getting a divorce just ain't that easy either.
Yeah, it's easier to get married and harder to get a divorce and get out of it. More money, more legal problems, more chaos.
And if you got children, it affects the children the most. But don't let me say that because some people really have like deep issues.
Yes.
And it's other things involved where divorce, it may be the best option. So don't let what we saying stop you from putting you in the best situation because we're not saying if you're in a domestic relationship, you shouldn't be going through that. No, that's something you shouldn't be going through.
You know what you can deal with. You know what you can handle. You know what's worth fighting for and what's not. You know your limits and what you're worth. So, of course, every situation won't be the same. But for those who are having minor problems, that could be worked out.
And talked out. Because I think a lot of our problems were minor. Just our arguments and my attitude. I just had that willingness to always quit. I think that was my biggest problem. I was just always so easy to give up. If things ain't go my way, or it wasn't how I wanted it, it was like, I quit, I give up, I'm out. So I think that's why I use the word divorce so much. Because it was just so easy for me to give up, you know. Easy just to walk out on my family at times. And now, that's something I can say I regret. Because look back on it, man, I was young and dumb. I was just like, when I think about it now, it's no other female that probably would have put up with half of the crap that my wife had put up with. It just made me think of the song from Jacquees, the so-called king of R&B, where he said, "Deal with you and all your bull crap." But now I'm saying, she dealt with me, you know, my bull crap, and my bull crap I still might got going on now. It ain't what it used to be, but, you know, it's things we have been working on, things we talk about. And that's also why we decided to bring out these videos, because we know we're not the only one that experience these things. And we'll never be the only ones that go through these things that we discuss and our testimony can help you or someone else you may know. So that's why we continue to say share, subscribe, because you never know what we might be discussing. It could be something for you or somebody you know. But like I say, today's topic is divorce is not an option. We don't want to use that word no more. I definitely don't. Yeah, I don't even want to think of the word. I'm only saying it so much because that's the topic.
So I think first things first, a couple of things that we could probably mention that'll help take divorce out of marriages, talking about it, saying it, is communication. I think one of the biggest things in marriages is communication. And not just what you say, how you say it, and what you say, but mostly how you say it, how you address your spouse. Because a little argument could blow up to something so big, and then there you go, shouting out the D word.
Yeah, definitely how you say things, because even though in your mind, when you saying it, and your train of thought is, oh, it's not that bad, or I didn't mean it that way, but when you said it to your spouse took that the way they took it, and now it's blown out of proportion, and it went way farther than it had to go, where if you just would have maybe talked in the calm, still voice, like our loving Father, Heavenly Father, for you that are the believers. Sometimes you just gotta calm yourself. Make sure you think about what you say. Don't say hurtful things. I also believe if you speak negativity in your marriage, then that's what you're gonna get out of it. And I think that's another thing that bring up people thinking of divorce. Like I know I had a discussion with a few fellas that I worked with earlier today, and it was just like he was saying something about what he was going through, and I was like, man, I can't even agree with you, because a lot of us men, we want to do what we want to do. When a woman do it to us, we can't take it. And it was like, man, you got to do. I told him, he got to make the choice. Same thing I had to do. I had to make a choice, decide I want my marriage. If my marriage is worth it, my family is worth it, so I'm going to do everything I need to and had to make sure this thing's work. And I can't be so caught up on what my wife not doing and things like that, because in my marriage, it should be me doing what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I focus on everything that she's not doing, I'm always going to be upset, because we're like, oh, she ain't doing that, she ain't doing that. So I'm just moping and complaining to myself, and that's just causing problems. I'm finding all these things to be upset about when I shouldn't be. I need to be thinking about, what can I do to be a better husband? What can I do to take care of my home better? How can I provide more? Or things like that. Not oh, she ain't clean the kitchen today. Well, I can clean the kitchen too. I mean, I'm not handicapped or nothing.
And vice versa.
I think that's another problem too. A lot of us we so worried about what the other person can do for us, but we don't think about what we can do for our spouse and to be better ourselves. So
yes,
that's yeah. You gotta really put it this way. You gotta look at yourself in the mirror. The same things you point out in your spouse, you gotta look at yourself and be like, are you doing the same thing?
Right.
Most times, the things you point out about somebody else, them your own flaws.
Exactly.
The only reason why you see it because you can't see it in yourself. You see it in somebody else because you hate to tell yourself, oh, I'm just like that. We always want to be better. And we always comparing ourselves to one another. That's another thing gotta stop. Don't compare yourself to your spouse. Do what you're supposed to do. I don't know how many times I will say that.
Don't compare yourself to other marriages, because you never know what another marriage is going through. We could look perfectly good on the outside, but inside our home, you never know what another marriage is going through. So don't compare your spouse to another person's spouse and, oh, well, such and such husband do this for their wife and you don't do it for me. You gotta just do what's good for you and your spouse.
Also, don't follow those memes, and don't take advice from people that ain't married worked through their marriage.
Yes.
I think a lot of us, we also involve people in our marriages that shouldn't be involved in our marriage. So a lot of times somebody telling us, oh, you don't need that, you don't need him, you don't need her.
Go get a divorce. Divorce him, girl. You don't gotta deal
That's
with
the first
him.
thing everybody say that ain't married, that's single. That ain't even, that's probably going with a man that been doing no wrong for years that they ain't even married to.
That ain't married to. It's just like, are you gonna take advice from a broke person on how to manage your money? No. Mm-hmm. So don't take advice from your single friends. Get you some married friends. Get you a therapist, counselor, pastor.
I say find like mentors too, because
yeah.
I listen to a lot of my aunts and uncles, man, because that wisdom go a long way. I think if it wasn't for a lot of my aunts and uncles that been married for as long as they've been married, man, I still be lost to this day. I wouldn't even be able to share with you guys my struggles and the things me and my wife been through. And I just felt like somebody got to keep it real with you, and I decided to do that. It's always been my pleasure to try to help other people with their struggles. I think I've been through enough to be able to help other people anyway. So, like I said, find somebody that been going at it for years. Like, we know people, like we have a friend that, well, she was actually our kids' babysitter and whatever. Like, she been married for years, and she's somebody I would like to talk to more about how her and her husband did it.
Hey, Felicia, because that's who he's talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, I just don't be wanting to say people's names because you don't know how people feel about you putting their names in, even saying something good. Of course, I'm not gonna get her to say nothing bad about nobody, but it's just like, man, it's people who have been going through things way before you that can help you out. Yeah, some of the advice is to make sure you don't go through the same things, but you might already be dealing with it, and it can help. Like I say, my testimony can help somebody else be better and not make the same mistakes I made. I know there's a lot of younger people that's getting married for all the wrong reasons. Don't do it, because then that D word come up. Yeah. Ready to get a divorce, and you only been married for a couple of months, or you probably been married a year.
I hate when I see people who've been married a few months or a year, and they're getting a divorce. I'm like, dang, like, why?
Divorce ain't it. It's just not it. If you get married, you gotta know you gotta know and be willing to put in the work that marriage come with, man. Shoot. I think, matter of fact, earlier when I was discussing with a few guys at work, it was just like, man, most people don't know when you get in a marriage, it goes straight downhill from there. When you just messing around, you out here, y'all just dating, y'all having all this fun, y'all more intimate. Then when you married, things slow down. A lot of things slow down. You might not be intimate. Yeah, so.
Work, you move in together and you start learning different things about that person that you didn't know. And that's not a reason to get a divorce, though. It's you have to talk through it, work through it. It's nothing that God can't fix. So you definitely have to pray through it. Why waste your time getting married in front of all these people and saying your vows if you know you're not going to honor your vows?
I think that's one thing that made me want to have this conversation too. Because when I was thinking about this topic, I really wish I'd have brought my Bible out, because that was part of the plan. But when you plan things, sometimes they don't go according to plan. But I read my vows right out of the Bible, and it was like when I made those vows, I made a promise to my wife and to God to love her, death do us part, and do the things I'm supposed to as a husband. So, like, even talking about it now, it's just like, when I made that promise, when I made those vows, I wasn't ready. I mean, in the back of my head, I might have had the slightest thought like I was, but I really wasn't ready. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. So even before it was also easy, and the enemy don't want to see you doing a godly thing, which is to be married. Marriage is a godly covenant, man, between you and someone else. So as soon as you're doing the right thing, which is being married, no longer living in sin and not doing things of the world, which would be shacking up with somebody, the devil want to come right on in and destroy you. And he almost had us.
Exactly.
Our marriage had been through the ringer.
And one advice that we didn't take that I would want everybody who's thinking about getting married who hasn't got married yet, go through counseling first.
Yeah.
Because if you go through counseling first, you talk about things that you probably normally wouldn't talk about, and then right then and there, you will see if that's what you really want, if that's really what you're fighting for. Like my husband mentioned in one of the other videos, I think, did you mention it? I'm not sure. But when our pastor had asked him,
no, I didn't mention
had asked him, what was it?
A pastor had, we did our first ever counseling.
After we got married.
Yeah, and it was with Pastor Dr. Vandy Coulter, man. Excellent man of God, man. I'm glad. I always bring this conversation up when I'm thinking about marriage and divorce or whatever. It's just like, we did our first counseling with him. We hadn't already been married for about maybe 2 years, 3 years. And it was at the time where we actually, I don't know if we had, well, I think we had already went to the divorce place and start drawing up the paperwork for the divorce. And she was like, babe, let's try counseling. And I was always against counseling. It's like, man, ain't nothing them people can tell me I don't want it. I wasn't trying to do none of that. I ain't trying to do none of that. I'm doing what I want to do.
I'm still trying to get him to do just a good one.
But even then, when we finally went in the pastor's office or whatnot, he sat us down. He asked me a bunch of questions. But the main thing that stick to me is when he drew a picture for me, and I can't even describe the picture. I wish I could draw the picture and show you guys, but I just can't remember it. But however he made his drawing, he was just like, it was two drawings actually. It was a drawing what most people would think marriage is, and a picture of what marriage really is. One picture was mainly, you got all this work to do. There's a lot of stuff in the way. You're going to have to go through the mud. You're going to have to get over this obstacle, that obstacle. There's going to be this roadblock, that roadblock. And one was, it was like a straight path, basically, to the treasure, gold mine, the heavens, whatever, however you want to describe it. It was just like the perfect path. The thing of nothing can go wrong, everything is all right. So when he put this picture in front of me, he was like, Terrence, this is what marriage is. He said, I got one question for you. Are you willing to put in the work? And I remember so vividly when he asked me, because as soon as he asked, it was like no hesitation. I'm like, no, I ain't willing to put in the work. Like, I don't want this marriage. And then he just told us, like, man, somebody that think like that is probably more than likely they head already out of the marriage. But, you know, and he tried to cancel as best I was, but I still was young-minded where it was just like, yeah, I ain't trying to, like, Pastor, I respect you. I mean, you supposed to be my mentor, but in my head, I'm saying to myself, I ain't trying to hear this. Like, I don't want this marriage. I'm up out of this thing, man. First thing, smoking them out. But, like I say, that conversation always stuck with me. So when I did get upset, or a lot of times for me, it just took me a long time. I just needed to get in a different space and clear my head and think things through. And like, I believe he mentioned this in the post, though, a lot of times where it was like, I say I'm gone. Like, well, matter of fact, I say my little apologies, and then I'll be like, oh, I want my family back. Because I deep down, I really knew I know I wanted a family, because my thing was, I always wanted to break the cycles and generational curses that I felt like that been in my life and my family life, where it was like, I won't get a divorce. I won't be like my father. I'll be better than my father and things like that. So I always knew what I wanted, but I wasn't ready for it. And a lot of times I felt like the more I was trying to be better than my own father, I was becoming more like him. I was just like out of it. Like I wasn't there. I was so ready to leave my kids behind as well as my wife. And it was just like, now that I think about it, man, it's like, I wish somebody would have actually said, no, sit your behind down. You're going to listen to me talk. I'm going to tell you this how it is. That's what you need to know. And like I said before, even when we was in this little marriage happy place, when it was just a thing we just was talking about and didn't even think it was really going to happen. It was like, even if somebody probably would have tried to cancel me before we got married, I probably wouldn't even listen. I just thought I was grown. I was grown, but I thought I was wiser and more of an adult than I really was. I still didn't grow up yet. I still had a lot to learn. So that's why now I really decided to put this out there, like divorce is not an option. That's one thing I don't ever want to discuss with my wife. Because for the past, it sucked to say this, because we've been married for 6 years, on and off relationship for what? I don't know, what, quite a while. So altogether, maybe like 9 years, if you count all the on and off crap. But
yeah,
but
9 years.
It's just like, man, I never want to run out on my family. Never ever again. Cause for me, it used to be so easy. Like, and it's like, man, what am I really teaching my son? To be just like me, to be a quitter, to run out on his family.
Exactly.
I don't know the full backstory of my mom and dad. You know what I mean? It's his version, her version.
And then the
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I hate to say that I was becoming more like him and things like that, because I don't know how the story really unfolded. But I do know him and my mom divorced. Well, I don't know if I was born, it was before I was born. No, my mom, matter of fact, when I just told my mom, she said I was a couple months old when he decided to leave. But even when I think of their marriage, like, from what she told me, my dad tried to come and work it out. She didn't want to. And I think, even knowing that now, why would I allow, if I'm saying I want to break generational curses, I can't allow me and my wife to go through it, because my kids going to see that. Everything I do, my kids are watching. This same conversation, eventually they're going to see this video.
And more than likely, once you get a divorce and your kids grow and they see it, at least 1 out of 3 of your kids will follow the same structured path that you have. And so that's a big thing. Breaking generational curses is a big thing, and keeping the black families together, man. We gotta keep the black families together. All families.
I'm about to say, I don't want to put
stay together, but more often, that's because more often it's the black families that don't stay together. They don't stay together.
When you look at statistics, it's a lot of black males that ain't in their family lives, not in their children's lives.
And it's because of generational curses. The dads aren't there.
And I want to blame it all on generational curses. It's society, man. Society got things messed up too. Everybody want to be this player or this that want to run the streets, man. And that ain't it.
Follow the leader.
Be with one woman, man. Love the woman you with. Love the woman that love you wholeheartedly. Like, if it wasn't for my wife, I really truly feel like I wouldn't know what love is. And I'm saying that being a believer of Christ, yeah, God is love. I think that's the only reason why I do know how to love now, because he allowed my wife to love me when I couldn't love myself. And a lot of things we mentioned too will be other topics about, loving yourself. That's something you got to do before you can love somebody else. Also, fathers being in their children's lives and stuff like that. But there's a lot of different things we'll touch on, but this main video is just about getting rid of the divorce word, man. Work out your marriage, whatever you do.
Fight.
You had to fight for it. Your
If
marriage
you
is worth
haven't
fighting
already,
for.
a great movie where we were going through things. I mean,
The Prayer
I watched it, The War Room.
Oh, the way room. My bad. But
I watched it on my own. I couldn't pay him to watch it when we was going through, but he eventually watched it. But I watched it over. One of my friends bought it for me for Christmas. Thank you, Tanae. Shout out to Tanae.
It was a firefighter movie.
Yeah, it was 3 of them. It came in a 3-pack. I can't remember the name of the other 2 movies, but they were good too. But The War Room.
Yeah, The War Room.
Definitely a great movie if you're going.
It grew on me. Yeah.
Anything in your marriage. I might watch that.
So basically, pray for your spouse. In that movie, it was definitely about praying for your spouse. And like I spoke on earlier, stop worrying about what your spouse is doing or not doing. You have to continue to do your husband or wifely duties, no matter if that person not doing their part. Because if you focus on what that person not doing, all you gonna do is make yourself upset, and then that's how that argument gonna start, and then that's how you gonna start throwing around the word divorce.
Yes. And you gotta remember, you cannot change him, and husbands, you cannot change your wives. You gotta take them to God. You have to take them to God in prayer and pray your way through. Pray. You can't just pray one time and then be done with it. You have to really talk to God, pray.
Go to him until something changes.
Yes, get on those knees, pray, go into your war room, pray, touch and agree, speak into your marriage.
Pray together.
Yes.
I ain't gonna act like we do it all the time.
We don't. We try to get it in there. Life is hectic.
Yeah.
His work schedule, so he goes to sleep.
Yeah, I go to bed early. It's past my bedtime right now. But I really wanted to do this video because I felt like divorce is at an all-time high right now.
It's scary. It's so scary. Like, God is love, and I just wish even relationships is like non-existent, I want to say, anymore.
Kind of.
I mean, because as soon as you get mad at that one person, you
go
to the next person. You're going to go through those same problems. Maybe not the same problems, but you're going to go through different things, trials and tribulations with each person you meet, whether it's a relationship or not. We just got to learn how to work things out.
Yes, and it ain't the easiest thing because we all have our egos and some type of stubbornness with us. So, like I say, man, just you got to find a way. You got to fight for what you really want, because everybody knows when you really want something, you're gonna do whatever it takes to make sure you got it. Like when them people want them new Jordans, they hurting people. They doing all type of stuff just for some shoes.
Yes.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Sick.
When you want to go make some money, you're going to go do that 9 to 5. Some of y'all out there hustling, you're going to go do what you got to do to make that money. So the same thing with your marriage. Do what you have to do. Put the work in.
Invest in your marriage.
That's the best word we can use. Make the investment into your marriage or relationship, to your significant other. Do whatever it takes. I think, like, I've done the most. I can honestly say I've done the most I probably ever had in the past recent 2 years and the whole 6 years.
I'm so proud of him, y'all. I'm so proud of my man. I'm so proud of my man. Like, he really, sometimes I'm very unappreciative. I can say that. Sometimes my mouth is a little crazy when I get upset. I'm still working on that. But I just want to say I'm so proud of him. I'm so grateful and thankful to God for all he's done in our marriage, how far he's brought us. I mean, I know we got a long way to go, and we're going to continue to grow, and we want y'all to continue to grow with us.
Definitely grow with us.
And I just want to say, we're not perfect, because so many times people be like, oh, they fake churchy, they marriage ain't really what it is. We are human beings. We are not perfect. When we get off of this camera, we might argue.
No, it's not. Cause I'm taking my behind to bed. I gotta go to work in the morning. I gotta be up at 3.
But at the end of the day, we love God and we love each other, and we don't have to prove nothing to nobody but the man upstairs. So that too, stop trying to prove your marriage, your relationship, whatever you're going through to other people, because at
prove it to yourself if you're gonna prove it to anybody.
Only person gonna matter at the end of the day is God. He has the final say.
Definitely.
So,
and if you want your marriage, you'll have it. Speak life into your marriage. Yes. Like I said before, like I pray for my marriage. I'm praying for a lot of other marriages out there, man. I hate seeing the younger people go through things that I either experienced or at least had some type of knowledge of, where it's like, man, look, you can get through it if you really want to. Like, it's
half the time people don't be trying to hear it. Younger people, they don't be trying to hear
nothing.
It. They don't want to hear it.
I'm the same way.
And just listen. It will all work out for your good if you just listen and take some wisdom. Like we said before, all situations is different. But if you got somebody that's trying to talk to you about your marriage, they know. Especially somebody who's been through it.
Somebody that's actually going through it, that's married, that's in a relationship. Not somebody that's out here just being happy-go-lucky, running from this person and that person. Man, that's nobody that can help you. Like I say, experience is the best teacher anyway. And like I said, I want this to help other people. So please like, share, comment. If it's something that we didn't discuss or we can, or you want us to discuss, I love to hear what you got to say. If you got something negative to say, just say it. I don't care. You ain't gonna hurt my feelings. I'm gonna just pray for you. But
negativity only brings out more positivity.
Yeah, it's just gonna make me go harder on you. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I go harder in the paint.
Because we have gotten some negative feedback.
Oh yeah, but we had got more positive feedback than anything.
The negative, and that's God. So thank you. Yeah. Thank all of you. Y'all don't know how much I appreciate y'all for just listening to our story and just giving us great feedback.
Yeah, I hope we can change some lives anyway. So stay tuned with us. We definitely got more coming for you guys. Yes. It's gonna be a long road, so just ride this thing out with us.
I did get some requests. I think I'm gonna have to do a girl video by myself. Because I did get a request.
Listen, I'm glad she said that, because I was talking to my homeboys.
I got you.
I was talking to my homeboys. I had told them, look, I'm going to have to do something by myself.
So I might have to do a video or two by myself.
It's still part of the Carter Chronicles. Yeah.
But don't think I'm not listening to what you requested. For those of you who did request for me to talk about a certain topic, I will address that as soon as I can. But
listen, y'all might see a lot of videos by me by myself.
I will hurt him.
Know what I'm saying? Because I got a lot to say.
He always got a lot to say. He always got a lot to say.
I can talk. Yo, so make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe.
Please
subscribe.
Hey, look. And share. Because if you share, other people will like and other people will subscribe.
Other people get to view it. The more people we get to touch lives. But stay tuned for our giveaway coming real soon. Yes. So it could be the next video. Could be the video after that. But you have to stay tuned. But
it'll probably be our first 100 subscribers or something like that. We'll do something special like that.
Something special like that, but I feel like it'll be like 3 giveaways and one when we get there. It'll be like a first place winner or second and third place, something like that. But it's gonna be some good stuff.
We'll let you know more about it
as we figure out the details ourselves. Yeah, we're gonna do some good stuff. So just stay tuned with us.
Keep rocking with us. Keep praying for us. Prayers.
Listen,
don't pray on our downfall, but
definitely
keep praying for us.
Definitely, I'm praying for a lot of marriages out there. May God be with y'all. We love y'all. Continue to support us. Thank you so much for the ones that actually took the time and watched.
Yes.
took the time to share, like, and comment. You guys are wonderful.
Greatly appreciated.
Definitely.
Loved. So, thank you.
And like I said before, tell us what you want us to talk about. I can talk all day long. She a hater.
Love y'all,
She's a hater.
Carter Chronicles.
We out.
Bye.